New today, President Trump is now selling early access to his Truth Social posts for a monthly fee of $100,000. The posts have the potential to move markets, of course, raising concerns of conflicts of interest and, of course, insider trading. For more on this, I'm joined by founder of Pinpoint Press, Rick Newman. Rick, we have a lot of economic headlines to get to today, of course, but I want to start with the president. What kind of effect could Trump literally selling advanced access to his Truth Social posts have on the actual market, you think?
So here's what's going on. He's going to sell early access to his posts to any firm that pays, I think the fee is $100,000 per month. And trading firms might want to do that because Trump does move markets sometimes. I mean, examples, the Iran war, he says we're going to have a peace deal and oil prices go down. So that directly affects markets. And if you can get word of that before the rest of the world, even if it's a fraction of a second, you can use artificial intelligence and high-speed trading algorithms to make trades based on that information before anybody knows it. I mean, it is literally selling inside information by a guy who does have the ability to move markets. Whether this is illegal, however, is very fuzzy because Trump obviously posts on Truth Social as he owns the platform. It's not a government platform, but he posts on there as president of the United States. So, it's yet another instance where Trump has found a hole in the system and he's driving his profit wagon right through it.
But I think the next, natural question that anyone at home is probably thinking, is this legal? I mean, will he be challenged in court?
I don't know. Like so many things with Trump, it's unprecedented. I mean, we've never had a situation like this. I suppose there could be good government groups that will challenge it. And then we have to find out, is it going to go to the Supreme Court? I have no idea. This might be something that he is just able to get away with because it really falls through the cracks. I'm sure there will be challenges. This is really unclear whether he can get away with this.
And that speaks to what, he's actually doing. You're right that the Fed left short-term interest rates steady as the market expected, yet stocks fell from long-term rates rose on the news. Break this down for us. How did this happen? And are Americans really going to feel this?
Yeah, it's confusing because the Fed left short-term interest rates unchanged. There's no change there. And yet long-term interest rates rose on that news. So the reason that happens is the Fed can only set short-term interest rates. Mostly those affect banks. The long-term interest rates that affect things like mortgages, car loans, personal loans, the types of interest rates we're all familiar with, those are basically set by the market. And the market is looking at what's happening in the economy right now and saying, we think inflation is going to be higher in the future. And when expectations for future inflation go higher, usually that means interest rates go up. There's a lot going on. Markets think the Fed might not be as aggressive as it used to be about fighting inflation. There's also too much debt in the market. A lot of that is coming from the U.S. government. And the Iran war is obviously not helping either. I mean, that is the biggest driver of inflation right now. So if Trump could finish up the Iran war, that would get one type of inflation worry out of the way and interest rates might fall a little bit. But obviously, he doesn't know how to do that.
If only. Speaking of the economy, consumer spending, as we know, makes up more than 2/3 of the GDP. So why did we see such a sluggish increase over this month? Did Americans buy less? What happened?
The war has put a lot of uncertainty into the economy. There are some technical reasons that economic growth, the GDP report, was a little lower than expected. I think some of those things will reverse in the next report. This is a quarterly report. The economy is doing okay, but beneath what are pretty good aggregate numbers, this K-shaped economy is a real thing, and it's possibly getting worse. So what we do know is while aggregate consumer spending is holding up, there's enough spending going on by consumers to keep growth going and keep the economy out of a recession. More and more of that is being done by the wealthy. The wealthy Americans are doing terrific, actually. I mean, there's been a bear market in stocks that's been going on for more than 2 years that has created tons of wealth for people, lucky enough to own stocks. But for regular workers, things are a lot harder, and they're suffering from inflation. I mean, gas prices that are now back over $4 a gallon. Food inflation looked like it was going away, but now it's back, and a lot of other struggles. So that K-shaped economy is a persistent problem.
Yeah, life is hard right now, to say the least. Rick Newman, thank you for your economic hot takes. We'll see you next time.